He'll be back.
He must be out of the way.
You're muted.
Yeah, I see him. He's muted.
You're muted, Ike.
Okay, how about now?
There he is.
Okay.
There you are.
I'm back. All right, good. Yeah, I guess I don't know, open up that document, took up bandwidth. So let's see. All right, so now we're recording too. So I'm going to share my
connection. The connection is really choppy anyways, just FYI.
It's choppy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll go a little slow. Maybe it's just going through one of those cycles. Let's see. So Val, this is yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone see Val's how she worked with the sheet? So this was transiting Neptune squares your natal moon, right? Yeah. Val?
Yep.
Yeah. That's transiting Neptune square your natal moon, right? I mean, trine your natal moon.
It's trine, natal moon.
Yeah. And it was originally in the second house, right? In Scorpio?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the moon was originally in your 10th house in Cancer.
Yep.
Okay, great. And this was the this area here. Yeah, I'll draw. Let me and this was your interpretation, right? This is from the
right.
birth.
So 12-8 was dreams, value, desire, transformation.
Okay.
And then 4-10-4,
Mm-hmm.
trine 4-10-4, which is family, career, heal, emotion.
Okay, great. Yep, that's good. So this is the numbers, right? You're using that still
Yeah.
the number system, right? Okay. All right, all right.
I just put them there just for reference.
Yeah, yeah, no, perfect. All right, and that's right. And then then Neptune. Then Neptune was transiting the 6th house, right? It was coming through the 6th house, which is what we have.
So the
here.
current house of
Yep.
yeah is 6th house in Aquarius.
Exactly, trining the moon. All right. Yeah. All right. So dreams. Yeah. This is great. So the next thing, what you would do is you would add this down here too, saying it's a trine, right? So the dreams and illusions, and what's that? NEP. What is that?
So dreams, illusions equals Neptune. Perfection, service is the 6th house, which is Virgo, and effortlessly means trine.
Exactly, right. So then that's supporting, so you bring that down here somewhere, and you show that the fact that Neptune is coming through your 6th house, and it's supporting the dreams, mainly your dreams. I think it should, because your 2nd house, Neptune in Scorpio, was about actually channeling and that being one of your assets, right? Because the 2nd house is about money and earning and tools, your assets in the world, and you're a channel you're a medium. You channel information. So now that information, that channel energy is in your 6th house to be of service, right? With the moon. The moon was in the 10th house, right? Originally? That's career.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is 10th house moon is likes to express themselves in public emotionally, like sharing and stuff like that. So what this says, so what did you come up with this on your own?
Well, then I got to the 3rd line, and then it says, where's the ruler of a planet in transit, the current house? and the ruler of the Neptune is Pisces, but I don't have Pisces in my chart. So then I was like, what do I do? So that's
but
where I
what-
got stuck.
Okay, no, but let's have a look here at your chart. I have your chart here.
I just got confused with that last line, and I'm sure that I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that's Dre's chart. Hang on. You're up here. This might be you. Yeah, Val. All right. So what you do at Pisces, so here, Pisces. So okay, so let me erase all this. That's a good one. So everyone is watching, right? Everyone is on point with us. We're just reviewing Val's work so we can see, you know. So what you're doing is Neptune. What's the rule of Neptune? Pisces. Where is Pisces? Pisces is right here. It's your seventh
Where?
and your sixth house, right?
My 7th and 6th house.
Yeah, that's what Pisces
Transiting, or
is.
I mean, I don't see it in the.
Oh no.
I don't see.
So no. Okay, so Neptune is the ruler of what?
Pisces.
Okay, so where's Pisces in your chart? What houses is it in?
It's not anywhere. I mean, Neptune is there, but I don't see
No.
Pisces anywhere. Is it just Neptune?
No, this is Pisces right here. I'm circling it. The sign of Pisces.
I can't. Oh, I can't see what you're circling.
All right, hang on. Let me erase it.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, not the video was in front of it. I'm sorry. Oh, so it's the outer ring that I'm
Yeah.
looking at.
Yeah, everything
I
is
think you
locked
just
in.
got confused about signs all the time.
Yeah, you got confused about signs and planets.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, so let's cover that.
Oh, where the hell is Pisces? I can't freaking find it. Okay.
Now you got
All
it?
right. So it's the outside that I'm looking at, and that
Yeah.
and Pisces is
Mhm.
between the 6th and 7th house.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Oh my
No,
God.
no, it's just one of those brain farts. Right?
Okay.
So Pisces is in your six. So you would put here 6 and 7. So again, service and relationships and agreements. So, and then moon. Well, that's wrong too. Let's have a look at that.
That's wrong too, because that's wrong too, because then the
Moon
the moon.
moon rules Cancer.
Where would I?
Moon rules Cancer, and Cancer is right here in your 10th house. You see that?
Moon rules Cancer, and Cancer natal is 10th house,
Yeah. Right. So we are going.
right?
Yeah, that's right. What happened here? 1 second. So we would put 10th house. So what this looks like to me.
You're okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just to recap, just to go back, so the ruler of planet in transit, current house, you're looking at the transit ring on the outside, and then the ruler of planet in transit, current house, which is you're meaning like the natal, right?
Well, let me show you one more thing. It's all locked in, so you don't have to worry. See, when you're doing these tri-wheels, they're locked in exactly sign by sign. So when you lock it in, they're locked in sign by sign, like right on top of another. You see what I mean? Like Pisces is here for everything. That's here for all 3 charts because it's locked in by the signs, right? So that's the alignment. You know, when you have like one of those like things that go into each other, and you have a primary lock. The primary lock is the signs. So they're all locked in. So you don't have to worry about the transit, you know, like you can just look and you can see. So whatever is here on the outer wheel, because it's bigger, you can see it. It's still the same sign in the inner wheel, right? Because let's have a look at your chart. Let me just make this.
But wait, before we just that one question that I had. So the ruler of my planet in transit, current house, means natal, because that second column is always natal. It's never transit. The first column is all the 4 categories are all the transits, and then the second column, the 4 categories are all natal, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Here, you
Okay,
mean
so
this?
then the ruler of planet in transit current house would be the 10th house.
For what?
The
No, no,
last
no.
row, second, the last row, second column, ruler in planet in transit current houses would be the 10th house because that's the natal house where the moon is.
No, no. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. This right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can like erase that. That's like I said, a student made this and I didn't have chance to really fine tune. But you can erase it. Just the ruler and like I was showing you earlier is whereas Cancer is here for everything, for all 3 charts, the birth, the progress, and the transit. Cancer is here in the 10th house.
Okay, so then what we're looking at in that last row is
Mhm.
is just what the ruler of the planet in transit is, which is Pisces, and what the ruler of the planet in aspect is, which is Cancer.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay,
So
got it. So that's what was confusing me because I was trying to
yeah.
figure out. First, I couldn't find Pisces, which now I understand where it was, and then I couldn't. I didn't understand this last part of what you had written here on the page. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I can fine tune. I'm gonna fine tune that. Yeah, like I can see how that can be a little confusing.
Okay.
But just remember this is this should be the house ruled by the planet. That's what it should read, and I'll fine tune that. Yeah. So you can even write that in your notes. The house, the how do we say that? The sign ruled by by the planet in transit. What house is it in? Right.
The
So in
what?
that
The
case,
sign. So it's not the ruler of the planet in transit. It's the house that the planet in transit is in. No, I don't get it.
okay. So well, let's just look at it. That's even better. So we're talking about Neptune, right? Neptune rules Pisces. And where is Pisces? So Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, right? And then we want to know where is Pisces. So however you can word that and remember it, so do it like that. So the planet, the sign that's ruled by the planet, what houses are they in? What house is it in? What houses are they occupying? It's the 6th and the 7th. I know it gets confusing because it's kind of like a weird formula, but and
So
you'll
the
get.
cur- so the top row is current house of planet in transit, which is between 6 and 7,
Hang on.
and then
Yeah.
the one underneath that is the ruler. I don't know. I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody else is as confused as I am, so I don't want to like.
That's okay. Let's just spend a few more minutes, a minute or two. So, okay, let's do it again. Where are you stuck? So this here, or here?
I've got the natal house and sign of Pitt and natal house and sign of PIA. I've got the current house of Pitt,
Yeah, that's
right?
right.
I've got all that. What I'm trying to figure out is what are we looking for? Because this says ruler of Pitt, current house, ruler of PIA, current house. Then you took away the current house on both of them, and then you just said look for the ruler of PIT and
Yeah,
PIA.
yeah, okay, yeah.
But then you said it's not the ruler, it's a house. So I don't know which one it is.
Okay. So you ready? You ready again?
Yeah.
So catch the words. Catch the words visually. Forget the sheet right now. Catch the words visually, and then write them down, however you can remember it, because it's definitely confusing. I can see it. So the last line is the planet, the sign that it rules. Where is it on the chart? So however you want to write that, the planet that we're talking about, what sign does it rule, and where is it in the chart? So, right, so then I'll go through it. So we're talking about Neptune, and Neptune is the number 12, right? 12 is also Pisces. It rules Pisces, right? You caught that?
Yep.
Okay. So then once we find Pisces, then we say, where is it in the chart? What houses is it touching? Because I'll explain what that means. So it's touching the 6th and the 7th houses. You see it? So that's all you need to know.
Okay, so the
That's
planet, the sign that it's in.
Yeah, planet, the sign that it rules.
That it rules.
And then where is that sign? What house is that sign in?
You called this a dispositor before, didn't you? So we're like looking at the relationship between
Yeah.
a planet, its sign, and its house. So
Right.
you're just unwinding in personal information,
Right.
right? By knowing that Neptune's involved, you're just digging around in the chart for wherever Neptune has influence. It has influence on Pisces. It has influence on the 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of just winding around the personal chart looking for anything that has a relationship to that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So you got that, right, Val? That was a good explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So and that brings me to the next question is why we're writing that down? Why are we writing the influence? And it's just what Diane uncovered is you're looking for the influences that can happen. So the Neptunian influence, it's not just here. The Neptunian influence is also here. And if we want to go further, the Neptunian influence can also be here, right? But the way I was taught was find out where the planet rules what sign, where's that sign? And that's where you'll feel subtle energies. Because one of the things that's important to understand why transits work the way they work and why we're doing all of this work is that everything is a web, right? So everything, like for example, this Neptune is a web. It's connected to here, right? This is connected to here, right? So everything connects. So this Mars is connected here, right? And then it's also connected here, right? Aries, you see? So, and then we can keep on going, right? You know, this Neptune, this Jupiter, I'm sorry, is connected here, right? And it's also connected here, right? Because Jupiter rules Sag, and then all that has a relationship with the 9th house. So you see, if we keep going, 10th moon is connected here as well as connected here. Well,
So then the third line that says current house of planet in transit is the same thing as pretty much the fourth line where it says ruler of pit, because the fourth line is the planet, the sign it rules, and the house it's in. 6 and 7 would be the answer for both of those boxes.
Let's see. For this area here, this, are you there?
I can't see the, okay, here. Yeah, so current house of planet in transit, right?
Yeah.
That's that. And then the one below that, you just said is what you're looking at is the planet, the sign it rules, and the house it's in. So it would be the same answer, 6 and 7.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what, that's what we're getting at.
And then when you go to the second box of the bottom row, you're asking the same question for the natal planet that's in that column for the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're asking for the planet, the sign it rules, and the house it's in, and the house the sign is in. Okay.
Exactly.
I just wanted to, because it's all formula based. I make sure I was following the right steps.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah. So, yeah, so basically, you see how this is, this web? We're just drawing. We're just like messing around right now, right? You got Uranus. It's connected to the 11th house, and it's connected to Aquarius, which is here, right? So you see all that connects, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to pinpoint the areas of influence, right? Like what could possibly be affected. So, and this is why we do the sheet, because we're saying, and this is why we write, is we're saying, okay, let me see if I can go up a little bit. Oh, no. Let's see. Yeah, we're saying this is the transit going on, right? Neptune is trining your natal moon. And then we're saying what was up with Neptune when you were born, and this is what Neptune was at. Neptune was about channeling spiritual energy and maybe like, knowing that that's an asset that you have. You're a medium. And then where was your moon when you were born? Your moon was in the 10th house. That's a public moon, actually. That's someone that likes to be out and sharing. And now this Neptune is in the 6th house of service. So you're being called to service. You're being called to actually work with your gifts of mediumship. That's what that reads.
Yeah.
Right?
That's kind of what I had gotten from it. I had kind of gotten that because I was just looking at one point. I was just looking at the chart and I was like reading it the way I read it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to understand what you were actually teaching.
Yeah.
There's a difference between me sitting there and looking at the chart and figuring it out and actually learning what you want to give, like what you're
exactly.
giving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you came up with the same thing. Yeah. This is perfection in career. Perfection and we talked about what you're doing. You're perfecting your career in the realm of mediumship, right?
Right.
So,
right.
And then the one thing that I would add to this for everyone, it's not written here, is the dates. Is the dates? Maybe you write the dates right here, and that's another addition that I can add too. So you put the dates, right? So for you, oh, that ended on the 7th.
That ended it yesterday. I know. I was like, wait, I'm just getting started.
I want more. No, but okay, no, perfect example. I just saw it. I think you wrote it too. I think I saw the second part. Now, okay, I can already see it, but we need to look. You got this one in action right now with Neptune. So let's have a look at that. I think you did the work here.
Yeah,
So
I did it. I sent it to you, but again, I got confused and I was like,
all right,
okay,
no, we'll go over it. We got it right here. All right, so that's your second one. So what I like to point out is that we just created the second page of a book of Val's transits, because what we just saw was one that kind of put her in service of like recognizing now she's of service of the channeling energy. And now the next line down is action. And let me see what you wrote here. So, because if we want to look here, we'll put that up again. She also has Neptune conjunct natal Mars, and it goes exact September 24th. So there's another Neptune. Neptune is making more passes around her chart. And now let's read it, because we just said, okay, wow, it ended and we want more. And you got more, because you did that right. That's perfect. Natal Neptune was in the 2nd house of Scorpio. That's right. Mars was in your 6th house in Aquarius. So Mars was already about action and work, right? You see that?
yep.
Right? And if you want to look at your natal chart, in your natal chart, there's Mars in action, ready for action. Wait a second. Aquarius, I don't know if you saw that. Hang on. it's on the cusp of
Yeah, I
Aquarius.
put it there.
No, yeah, so this is Pisces. This is Aquarius. What you do is you do two, Aquarius and Pisces. So that's even more Piscean influence, Neptunian influence. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good, right? So let me just erase all this stuff. Okay. Yeah, so that's even more Pisces, right? So what this means right here is assertive energy, perfection, revolution. Yeah, exactly. Why'd you get revolution? Because Aquarius, right?
Yeah, they're always making a mess and
Yeah,
fighting
yeah,
everything,
yeah. This is like a
being rebellious and changing and and all of that. But uh
yeah,
yeah, so asserted energy was more like where you're spending your energy or where energy is going.
yeah,
And perfection, which is Virgo, service, perfection. And then Aquarius, I don't know, I took revolution, but revolution more like like
yeah, yeah. I wrote it. I finished it for you.
stir-
Spiritual revolution of service. That's your original Mars. That's great. That means like when you hear the call, you will show up. And now Neptune, which is your assets. What did you have here? Dreams, values, transformation. Yeah,
right, transformation.
yeah,
Yeah, Scorpio,
yeah,
transformation.
yeah. But we all know by now this is for you. This is your mediumship. So you can just use that, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Can
so,
I can I ask a really fundamental question, which
yeah.
is my caveat is obviously that I wasn't here on Thursday and haven't watched the replay, but where do you get the graph that shows all the transits, and is that per individual or is that what's happening like just in space
Okay.
now?
Yeah, hang on. Let me put this light. Yeah, all right. That's a good question. So I'll go over that real quick. Um, right after this part, then I'll show it to you. You're working with Prometheus? You have Prometheus on your downloaded?
No, I've been running charts through various websites, your
Okay.
website and the one that you suggested.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. I'll show you that in a second. Let me just finish this chart here. So sixth house. Okay, so now we know Pisces was in the 6th and the 7th. What was this? Mars Aries would have been. This is yeah. Look at that. This is I can't. Yeah, 7th and 8th. So again, 7th and 8th. So you're going to be feeling that in your realm of the 8th house energy, and 7th house agreements, and right. So all of your occult work, all of your spiritual work. So that's the planet action. So you should be feeling motivated right now to do this work, right? And on September 24th is when you're going to feel a big jolt of it on this date, right? And then it
So
ends.
then, when we look at that chart, oh, when we look at that chart and of the one that
Yeah,
I wrote Aries no how. So we're looking. Hold on, where's my paper? So we're looking at the planet, which is Mars, the sign it rules, which is Aries,
yeah.
and then what house Aries is in the natal chart. And when I look at the natal chart, Aries is in, where the heck is Aries? Aries is between the 7th and 8th house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You see that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's the way you do it. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So,
All
okay,
right.
got it.
So, any okay, and this was just your all right. So okay, great. Any other questions? I'm gonna show Liz do like a rundown, which I think we all need anyway. But any other questions on what we did with Val's chart right now? I think, is everybody clear with what we got? Okay. All right. So what was your exact question, Liz? Can you come in again?
Yeah. My question was when you were showing the bar graph or the gridded sheet
Yeah.
there with the transits.
Yeah.
Are you running those like through Prometheus, like per individual? Or are those based on the individual, or where the actual what's happening in the sky and what's
Oh.
transiting?
Yeah, exactly. So it's what's happening in the sky and how that's affecting her personally.
Yeah, totally. That's how I was thinking of it. Okay.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll show you. Let me get this up. Yeah, so I don't know whose chart. This is well, let me put Val's up. All right. So that's Val. So what we do is we run the dates, and so you see this red line. I'm going to drag it now. Now take a look. I can make this bigger. One second. This wheel I can make bigger. Okay, you see this wheel that I just opened up?
Yep.
All right, you see it says here inner wheel is the birth chart. So this is Val's original birth chart. The middle wheel is the progressions, and the outer wheel is the transits, meaning what's going on in the world as we speak. So if you see here, I'm going to move this red line. I'm going to move it over here. Hang on. You see the outer wheel moving as I move this red line around? You see it, Lynn?
Oh yeah, because it's showing you the different date. So
Yeah.
like I ran that originally, like I have that right here, but I did it on August 26th. So
Oh yeah, you locked it in on one date. Yeah. Yeah, this allows you with the software, this allows you to go on dates, to move around, and you can see the outer wheel moves.
Okay.
Okay. Now, and then this is the timeline, so you can see when things start. Like here, right here, we have North Node conjunct Saturn, September 17th, ends October 8th. So you can see it here. You can move it along, and you can see it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then this is what I'll make sure you get video 4, or I'll look at the email again. But it definitely went out. But maybe I didn't upload it. I don't know. To the page. But hang on. Yeah. So what you're gonna do is those sheets. Also, those sheets are on the Google Docs that you see us using. Liz. Yeah. Hey.
Yep.
Can you see that? Oh no, maybe not. Okay. So the Google Docs have those sheets. So you just print up a bunch, and what you're doing is you're making a book. Like you're making a couple pages. Like what Val did is she did here. She did page 1 is one transit, page 2 is another transit, and then you just do a bunch of them until you have a book, and you'll see exactly what we saw with Val is you create a little story, because we can see here when she had the moon trine, when Neptune trine moon, that was like inspiration, right? Moon energy,
Okay.
Neptune energy, and then Mars kicks in. Then the next one you have a Pluto Saturn, and the next one you have a Chiron North Node. So you keep on going down the line like this, and you make those pages, and before you know it, those pages become a book. Then you put them together and you read them off by date, and you can read them off. See all this date. Something to notice too, when you see something like this, if you're looking at a yearly chart and they want to point out when are important things going to happen, like tell me something, whatever. You want to look this is what we call confluence. This is when a lot of things happen around or on the same time. So we can see here, this is a lot of confluence right here, this area right here. So if you're ever pressured or pressed for time, or you find yourself in one of these, like, give me an answer, look for confluence, where you see a lot of things kicking up around the same time, then that's something that you can read a story on. You can say, okay, from October 4th, whatever, this is what things are going to look like for you. and then you can work like that, right? This is like a
Okay.
big wave of energy that's coming, and that's an important thing to look at when you're doing transits, when you're doing predictive. So, all right. So we understand that, yeah. And just
Yeah,
like,
thank you for taking the time to explain it.
yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, and just so we're aware, I mean, just how, because sometimes we have all these questions of how does all this work and why do we have to do all that. And if you look like what we did at a chart, I mean, you have what you really have here is you have, this is your sphere, this is you as a snowflake, and all these different areas have different vibrations, right? Everything here has different vibrations. And then if something comes around here and makes a certain type of angle to this vibration of your natal, like an outside, like let's say Neptune, for example, Mars, right? That's hitting in an angle in a square, let's say, or whatever, hitting here. That makes another frequency, vibration that you're picking up on. And that's is why we are doing this dispositor type of research. We're finding out, hang on, there's a bus or whatever, a train. That's why we look at Neptune. It's connected to the 12th house, right? Neptune is also connected to the 6th and the 7th, right? But you can even go on, look at the web here, Neptune connected to the 12th. 12th, you have Pluto there. Pluto is connected to the 8th. Pluto is connected back to Scorpio, where Neptune is. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see, if you start looking at these webs, then all of a sudden you realize, whoa, wait a second, there's a connection, a stronger connection with Pluto and Neptune and Scorpio, right? Because they're dispositing each other through sign and house. You saw that,
Yeah. Well,
right?
I didn't see it, but I see it now.
Yeah, yeah. So this is like, I want to train our eyes real quick to this, because this is the important part of astrology that what you'll get when you're comfortable. But I'm going to show you now because why not? So Neptune is in Scorpio, right? All right. Neptune is connected to Pisces. Where's Pisces? 6th and 7th. Neptune is connected to the 12th house. 12th house. Pluto, ruler of Scorpio. So that jumps over to the 8th. The sun is in the 8th, right? The 8th, right? So then the sun is in Taurus, ruler of the 2nd house, right here. Okay, there's a connection there. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is like what we call dispositors, either through sign, house, or planet, right? We're just kind of looking and we're saying, oh wow, there's this connection, there's webs, right? So 6th and 7th, you can even go on 6. 6 is Virgo, right? Six here is in Pisces, but 6 is also related to Virgo. Virgo's here. That's where Neptune is, right? You see how it keeps going and going. So this
Yep.
is why, huh?
Yep. No, I said yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So these are all vibrations that are connected, even without aspects. We're not even looking at aspects now. We're just looking at dispositors right now. Influence, feelings, like different tugs, right? This is what we're looking at. So this is why we do all that writing, because to do this all the time is it's a lot. But if you do it in a formula, it just makes it that much more easier. So, right?
Right.
All right. So I'll write that. All right. So that was important for me to explain. It's like, and that's how astrology works. This is where it gets deeper. It's like the spider web, right? The spider is it lives either in the center or wherever, and then if a bug gets caught like on the left corner, based on the string that it has on that left corner, it knows where that bug is by the vibration of the string. It knows what string it's on, right? Because it knows what it weaves. The whole spider web is woven in a way that it understands all the vibrations of every single string. So if something hits string whatever 11, it knows that there's something heavy on string 11. And that's where we get the whole thing of like a gravity and how the planets relate to each other through dark energy and dark matter and electric universe formula. Like everything is vibrating. So when something touches something else vibrating, it creates another vibration. And that's where the measurement can be taken. That's how a spider knows if it's a big fly or it's a small gnat, based on the vibration of the string. So this is how astrology works, right? So this is why we're doing all of these things that can kind of confuse us. But
so the first line, basically, it's just Neptune trining my moon, which is my dreams and my emotions and what I want to do, or diving deep, because it's also water, into what I want. And then the second line would be Neptune working together with what I'm putting my attention and energy towards.
Yeah.
Right. Which is what I had gotten. Looking at it and then writing it on that thing was two different things. And I was just like, I need to get what he's teaching. I can't just go on what my,
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you see, we come up to the same thing, but it's just to make it not so overwhelming so that you can follow it through and repeat and repeat and repeat it, so that you can create a book. When you do a reading, you create a book for someone, and then you come with like a
How long does it take you to do a chart?
I review it for about, well, now I can do transits without doing all of that. I can just see it, like how I can connect it. You'll get there too. I mean, you're already there, but you're gonna have to go manual a little bit, and then you'll be able to bounce back where you are already in a little bit more like structured. Because I notice what you do is you get overwhelmed, like, because you start seeing everything, and you don't have like a place to put them, and then all of a sudden you have like a pile of stuff, and then you don't know where it goes, because you see everything, and
I think that with me, the way it works is that I start to read the way I do.
Yeah.
And then the logical Mercury steps in and says, no, you got to do it by the steps. So then there's this thing between reading it the way I do with you and whatever, and then writing it and doing it logically. So I was just trying to stick with the logical part of it.
Stick with logic for now. Yeah, stick with logic for now, because that will keep you structured. And then once you get the logic, then you can jump.
You can go off.
Yeah, you can go off. Yeah, you can go off the content. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys mind? I'm gonna go inside. It's gonna put on lights. I'm kind of getting cold out here. Okay, so hang on a second. Okay. Summer's over, people. All right.
Good.
Oh, yeah, my camera fell. I got it. All righty. All right. So, any questions on what we went over with Val, or just like start throwing out some questions? I want to make sure we got it. Everyone good? All right. So now the next thing is,
I have a question, but it's not necessarily what you guys were talking about.
yeah, whatever. It's fine. Shoot.
When we're looking at the chart, like the graph mode, there's a dotted gray line that goes across that like splits what you're looking at. What does that mean?
Yeah. Let me see. It's like always on the bottom, right?
For mine, it's like in the middle.
like that. This right here on the
Yeah.
bottom of this chart, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's in the middle of my chart, of my graph though.
This is something about a date. Let me just see something. It's I don't know what that is. I know it was I was having the same question. I just left it alone. I was thinking it might have been a date. Yeah. Let me just. I think it might. Okay. Yeah, you see now it jumped to the middle for me when I did sort to top. You see that? Let's just see. We play around with the wheel. Yeah, I don't know what that is. You see it's in the middle here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's a good
Okay.
question. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. So, all right. So then real quick, so we went over that. And, say it again? Who said something?
Sorry, I came in late. Were you talking about the dotted line,
Yeah. Yeah.
Dre?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what that dotted line is.
I
don't
think
know.
the dotted line.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have it on sort to top, just
Yeah.
what you have it on, I feel like the dotted line is things that are hitting on or after that date, or like right at that date, and everything that's not hitting at that date is below.
I think you're right.
Oh, wait. Hitting on what day? Okay, wait a second. Oh. Right. Means starting on that. That might, yeah, that might be it. Yeah. That might be the dividing line. Huh. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on it. We
Like
can't.
it's showing you everything that's happening on that day.
Mm. Oh, right. Maybe. I can email the software developer and ask him to. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. Everything that's happening on that day. Right. Right, because that just October 22nd just jumped up. You see that? Right. Right. All right, there we go. We figured it out. Because November 8th should jump up. Yeah, you see? See, November 8th was down here. I don't know why it's not moving, but.
What's happening on November 8th?
Well, you see November 8th is down below. Hang on, my software is taking a minute to catch. You see November 8th is below? And when
Yeah.
I move the timeline over, it jumps up to above the gray line.
I was just wondering if you already had some idea that something was going to happen on November 8th and was wondering
No,
what that was.
which chart is this, Val? A few things kicking up for Val on November 8th. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to that part of that
Yeah.
chart yet.
Yeah. To do it, yeah. So next I want to talk about progressions. So are we good with transit? The progressions are pretty much read the same way. But I just want to show what's important to look at. So anybody have any questions on that sheet, even though it is kind of written weird? I mean, we went over it a few times, so we should have clarity on it. But now let's put this here. So here's the progress chart, and there's two ways to do a progress chart. So this is what we did with the transits. And I don't know if we remember how to do that. Remember how to open it up? But I think whoever had Prometheus saw me, but do you need me to open it up again, or do we know? Very good. Diane, you want me to open it up again, or you know?
No, I was gonna say I'm comfortable with it.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. So, whoever wants me to do it again, I'll do it again. But if not, I'm going to show you another way just to do progressions if we want. So, you can also do progressions by doing one or two things. I never really do it this way, this progress, but you can, right? You can just hit progress up top, and you can do Val's progress chart, and you can hit OK, and that's Val's progress chart right there. And then you can open it up, and you can see, just like a birth chart, what her progress chart is doing. So you can read it as a birth chart. So it's just like where you're at now, you can read it that way. What I like to do, because everything goes back to the birth chart, that's usually how I like to read progressions. So what you want to do, what I normally do, is I do a dynamic multi-wheel. You see this? So I'm going to select Val's chart here, and you're going to go dynamic multi-wheel. Okay, select that. We have Val's selected. And then here, we're going to do bi-wheel. And the inner wheel is her radix. The outer wheel is going to be her progress chart.
Does radix mean birth chart?
Yeah. Yeah, radix means birth chart. Yeah. And you can see you have a selection here too of whatever you want, but we're going to have a birth chart. The second wheel would be her progress. And then that opens up. So that opens up that wheel. And then you go to view chart, and then you do aspects and wheel. And if you don't have this wheel, I'll get it to you, because some of the files from Prometheus are not showing this. So now you can look here, and you can see Val's inner wheel is her birth chart, and the outer wheel is her progress chart. So that's another way to look at it. And then you can see, just like how the aspects work, is you can see, I'll draw. See, this is the outer wheel. So you can see progress sun is conjunct her natal moon. And so this line here is the natal. So down this way is all the natal. And this way is all the progressed, right? So you really want to just run it. You want to read it. You want to read it this way, from progress sun conjunct natal moon, right? So progress sun conjunct natal moon, right? Progress sun trines natal Neptune. So progress sun has a trine to this natal Neptune. Progress sun sextiles natal Pluto. And I just did the main aspects. These are semi-sextiles, but you see that? So you can read that as well. So you can say your natal, whatever, right? Your natal, the progress sun is in Cancer now, conjunct Mercury. So that's kind of significant. That's what do we call this again? We call this inferior conjunction, or Val, do you know what that's called when it burns up? It's
No.
There's a term for that when Mercury is burning. It's burning in the sun. I forget the astrological term. Wow, I'm drawing a blank. Combust. It's combust. Yeah, Mercury is combust.
Combust.
Yeah, that's what it's called, combust. Because it's so close to the sun, it's within 1 degree of the sun. So progress Cancer sun, Mercury means like 10th house means like you can't hold back the info anymore. Like you can't even do it, like you can't. like the information has to come out. It's burning up, like the library is just burning up. You know, it's like has to come out, and it's also hitting your Neptune, right? Your in your progress chart, and you also had a transit with that. So that means that energy can't be contained right now. With the mediumship, you know, energy, messages, all that stuff. It can't. Because you can also see progress. Mercury should be hitting. Oh, it's not hitting now. It should have been hitting. Well, it's because it's separated just a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a 7-degree separation. That's why. Okay. But it's still kind of there. It's still happening. So you see, that's a progress chart. So what's important for progress is.
So you're cutting out.
Okay, let's give the internet time to cycle. Can you hear me now better? Yeah. Okay. So what you want to look at a progress chart is remember how we discussed that before? It's a day to year
We
formula.
can't hear anything you're saying, Ike.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
You can't hear anything at all.
Okay. Give it a second.
Yeah. Now we could hear it, but you're like nothing that what you just said was heard.
That was the most important part. I can't believe you missed it, man. All right. So you hear me now? Good.
Yeah, I think hopefully it stays.
Yeah. My internet is I have the mobile jetpack thing. It seems today to be going in and out. I don't know what's up. So in your progress chart, if you notice, the outer planets don't really move because this is the day. It's a day to year formula, right? So you what are you, 46, right? So
47.
47. So 47 days after your birth equals 47 years progress. That's the formula used. You understand that? So basically, if you were to run a birth chart 47 days exactly after your birth, it would look exactly like your progress chart. That's what progressions are. So somehow there's a formula, and I honestly don't know how it makes sense, but it does. Somehow that formula is day to year. So 47 days after your birth equals what you are 47 years after your birth progressed. Right? You understand that? I know it's hard to understand because it almost doesn't make any sense of how it works, but somehow it works, and I doubted it and worked with it and saw it, and like it works.
So I know I'm gonna bring in a little bit of pre-teaching to see if this resonates with what you teach. So
Yeah.
I was taught by Deborah that it's so you're pretty much paying attention to the moon, the progressed moon, because that's the one that really gives you a lot of the information of where that person is. Right now, my progressed moon is, I can't see it on the thing. I have it over here.
In Pisces.
My progressed moon is in middle wheel, so that's in Pisces. So then I would be paying attention to that. And I was told that it stays in a particular place for maybe 2.5 years.
Yeah, because it's day to year formula. So for example, Pisces, I think Pisces is 39 degrees for us. So this is 39 years. Well, no. The moon moves fast. The moon moves 12.5 degrees a day. So this is only going to be, to be exact, it's 39 divided into 12.5. 3 months.
3 months.
Oh wait, hold on.
No.
It's gonna move 12.5 degrees a day. That's the normal movement, right? So it's 12.5 degrees. Yeah. So 3.5 years. Yeah.
3.5 years. So
3.5
then
years, yeah.
when I used to do tropical, I
Mhm.
used to do the charts on Astro, and Astro used to actually give you the amount of time
Yeah.
that your progressed moon was in and when it was going to actually come out.
Yeah.
I know that mine is just starting in Pisces, or pretty much kind of starting in Pisces. So does Prometheus provide information on where exactly in that life of 3 years your progressed moon is going to be, so that you can get an idea of where that person is in that stage? So right now I'm in a very Pisces stage, because I'm actually almost in the middle, like, or at least I'm
Yeah.
kind of there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let me
Does
see.
Prometheus provide that so that you can get a
No. There is.
You don't think maybe the graph could provide that? Like looking it up on the graph?
Mm,
doesn't look like it's there.
No.
The little graph on the side, which is, by the way, awesome. I love that graph.
Oh, what graph? This here or?
The line graph.
The line one.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can do if you're working with Prometheus. Let's do that later. Let's get back
Okay.
into
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, I can ask that later.
Yeah,
I have
you can do once you say it again.
Sorry.
Wait,
There's
go
so I was just gonna say the 3.5 years. How much does the moon move every 3.5
Oh,
years? What was that?
it's well, the moon moves 12.5 degrees a day.
Yeah.
So it's 12.5 degrees a year in a progress.
Okay, got it.
You got it? Yeah, 12. So yeah, so whatever anything moves in a day. And in the last class we went over the planet orbits. So another example, like, so okay, the easiest one to remember is the sun is 1 degree a day. That's what the sun moves, right? That's where we get the whole 30 degrees, 30 days, right? So 1 degree a day, this is right, equals one degree a year in a progress.
Got
So
it.
right. So yeah, so it's 12, yeah, whatever we said. I took 12.5 and I divided it. I did a division with the 12.5 by 39, and I got 3.5. So that's 3.5 years that will be here. But Val, what you were talking about was based on 30 degrees per sign, which is not what we have here. So that's
Right. Right. Because that
but
was like the old, yeah.
yeah, but what you can do is you have these are each if I'm not mistaken, it's let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20. These are each of these lines is 5-degree increments, right? So yeah, so every one of these little ones is 1, right? So it's like a ruler, right? So so between here and here is 5 degrees, 10 degrees, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and then the rest, 39, right? So you are in Pisces, for example, if you want to get technical, you can count one by one. You can go, I can go, what I normally do. I used to do this a long time ago. So it's
I'm at 13.
10, 11, yeah, 12, 13. Yeah, you're 13 degrees into Pisces. So 13, that's about a year into this.
Right.
Yeah, you're
And I
about,
have 2 more years to go,
yeah,
which is fine. But this is a really good way to gauge.
yeah.
Like if someone is at the cusp of leaving Pisces and going into Aries, and you
Mhm.
see that, and you're like, wait a minute, you're about to make a completely different, like you're gonna go from
Yeah,
dreams and illusions to body and action. So
yeah,
I just wanted to ask that, and I thank you for that, because it's
yeah,
a good way to gauge.
yeah, exactly. Who's trying to say something? I hear somebody. Anybody want to say something? Okay. So Dre, your kids are sword fighting in the back. Those are not real swords, right? I'm just kidding. All right. Okay. So now, what to bring Val's point forward is with progress, you want to look at the faster moving planets that make more sense, right? Because they're the ones moving the fastest. So what those are is called the personal planets as well. So you have Moon, you have Sun and Mercury. Those are the inner planets, and you have Venus. Okay, and where is Mars? And you have Mars. Oh wow, it's conjunct Chiron. There you go. Okay, and you have Mars. If you notice, the outer planets barely move, right? So Jupiter barely moves, Neptune barely moves, Uranus barely moves, Pluto barely moves. Because these each take, so for example, Pluto is Jupiter's 12 years to go through a chart. Neptune, I forget, was like something. I know Uranus offhand is 84 degrees. If I'm not mistaken, this is 248 Pluto. So these hardly move because
Wow, that's a long, yeah.
That again?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. So they don't move, but so they're in the same place pretty much your whole life, right? That's what progress. So you don't really need to. Oh, I'm getting mosquitoes. Hang on one second, guys. All right, I'm back. Okay, so you don't really want to look at these planets unless the slight movement that it's having is actually, and this is important, is if it's on a cusp between a sign or a house. Let's have a look to see if any one of these outer ones are doing that. No. But let's say, for example, this is reverse. Let's say, can you guys hear me? Because let's say this was the birth Jupiter, but now it's right on the cusp. You see that? So if this outer planet is on the cusp of a house, we want to read that because like Val was saying, when a progressed planet is about to shift into another sign or house, you want to note that. You want to say, okay, your Jupiter was in the 4th house your whole life. Now it's moving into the 5th house. So now it's about expanding your expression. You raised your family already. Jupiter in the 4th house usually is like, expanded family or feels good with family or anything like that you can figure out. But now it's like, okay, now you're going to go out and maybe be a child again, or you're going to be more expressive about your true self, whatever, right? So that's when it's like just on the cusp, just moving in. So that's when you want to pay attention to an outer planet. So outer planet is when it's on the cusp between a sign or a house. That's when you read it, because that's when it's going to make a difference. On the inner planets, what's also called the personal planets, you want to just read them where they are now, because they move so fast. Especially the moon moves really fast. So that's the one that's actually having almost transit type feelings, right? So like, what's going on? What's moving through me? Where am I being pulled? That's the moon. That's the internal radar. That's like internal gauge. Like you can't. Whereas transits are like, what's going on in the world? Like that's banging on me. What's beating me up right now? So that's transit reading. So progress, yeah, moon, and also sun. You want to see where that sun is. So Val was born with a Taurus sun. Now it's in Cancer, right? And it's conjunct Mercury. Her natal Mercury was in Gemini, the 9th house. Now it's in the 10th house. So it gathered knowledge, and now it's about to share it, right? Because higher learning, values, and things like that, right? Teaching. Saturn was there in the 9th house. So her 9th house was about, being like a student of sorts, or learning, or just applying knowledge and picking up knowledge. And that's where the North Node was. See? So now that progressed Mercury is combust her sun, progressed sun, and it's retrograde. So this was why there's a little bit of confusion somehow. She's bringing it out, but then like studying, and then like getting a little bit like, well, wait a second, how does this work? How does that work? And then like taking a little bit extra time to connect the info, which explains like how in the beginning of the class we were like, wait, what exactly does this mean? Because that's Mercury retrograde. That's how it works. And then we can see say it again.
I have a question. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but
Yeah.
so when we're reading in the progress chart,
Mm-hmm.
like you see how you have her sun conjunct her Mercury.
Yeah.
Could I then go into my sidereal astrology book?
Yeah.
And look at read it as like that, like.
Yep.
And my next question is, say, in my chart in particular, I have my Jupiter. It is exactly like conjunct my natal sun. Could I read that in the book as well?
Yep.
Kind of like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
Okay.
progress Jupiter conjunct natal sun, you said, right? Yeah. So just read it as a Sun Jupiter or Jupiter Sun conjunction.
Woo, that's good energy. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of expansive energy actually. A progressed Jupiter is strong. And it's hitting your natal sun. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you want to read that.
Yeah, and it's like super cusp Scorpio. So I'm about to move into Scorpio with my Jupiter.
Oh, so it's on the cusp. Okay.
With my progressed, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's right about here. Yeah, that's
so
good.
I'm glad that Val brought that up about doing the shifts. And then when she said that, I was like, whoa. I
Yeah.
zoomed in. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shoot, I'm making a shift.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is exactly. So that's where you want to look when things are about to shift and progress. Yeah, and you can see like Venus is but Venus is a Leo now, so that's rulership within community. That's values. That's like taking care of community, things like that, right? So you can see like the progress she's primed right now. You can see it, right? Moon 6th house service, which we went over that transit. We went over that transit earlier. It was all about 6th house. Chiron Mars progress in Pisces, more like 7th house, but healing the relationships now, healing the agreements, making the proper agreements. So and you can just carry it on through, just as you would read a chart. You would go, remember, you go this way, you go down the lines this way, progress sun, progress moon, and you go this way, right?
I have
Left
I
to
have
right.
a question about the progressed ascendant. Would you say that like as the ascendant progresses, it's the ruler of your overall progressed chart wherever the ascendant is, similar to how we read the natal chart?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've never really addressed that or even felt that. So, and it never really came up. And you can read it. I mean, I don't work with it, but yeah, that's a good question. The progressed ascendant. Yeah, I understand where you're coming at. I don't know. What are you picking up on it? Because I don't really work with that. But yeah, if you're feeling it, what are you feeling?
I was just thinking that it sort of like it could like cast the overall energy of where you are. I mean, aside from the specifics of everything that you're pointing out now too, but just thinking about it as like the sort of ruling or dominant force.
Yeah.
So then would you say it shifts the progress houses?
No, you just leave it the same. The houses
No,
are.
so the houses stay the same then?
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
point, Liz. I've never worked with that because I only work with like kind of moving things that are actually like the planets that are moving. But this is an angle that's moving. I don't know. I would encourage you to work with it and see if it comes up, because it isn't Libra. And if we read what we read so far at Val, we can see there is like, a balance. Where was Libra in a second? Yeah, there's a balance of values. Where you're gonna put your spiritual values. So that would make sense. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go ahead, I encourage you to do that. Read the progressive ascendant if you want. Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right. Any other questions on?
So I would go around this, and I would look at Moon, Mars, Mercury, Sun, and Venus, because those are the faster moving planets.
Yeah.
I personally would focus on the Moon, just because that seems to have the most weight. I don't know, maybe that's just because I was originally taught that way, but it kind of gives a tone to the overall progression of the person. And then I would see, so in this case, it would be Moon in Pisces, Chiron conjunct Mars in Pisces. We've got Sun conjunct Mercury in Cancer, and we've got Venus in Capricorn in 11th, 10th,
Venus
7th,
in
and
Leo.
6th.
Yeah, it's Leo. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Leo. I'm sorry, I can't see very well. In Leo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then that's how I would do it. I would move through it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's where you want to pay attention to. Yeah. Yeah, you want to pay attention to the personal planets.
Well, you got diving deep into Pisces, which are dreams, and then healing and moving energy into healing, and then you've got thinking about family and whatever, the sun, and okay, I can do that later. All right.
So you got it. So everybody's got it, right? So basically, your focus, I'll just draw it. Your main focus is this area. Just so you know, that's the main focus. These mainly, if they're moving, if they're in between house or sign. If they're moving in between house or a sign, then you want to read it, right? Because this doesn't make sense if you want to read. Yeah, so that's usually how you get through your progressions. But then that's just looking at progressions this way. But remember, we also have this chart. All right, well, that's Dre's chart. Let's see here. So we also have this chart, which you can see here, all the purple ones are the progress. See, progress, PR. So PR Mars, progress Mars, semi-sextile natal Mars. Progress Mercury, semi-sextiles natal Venus, right? So, but it doesn't give you the conjunctions of the progress, conjunct progress, but you can work all that out too. So, but you can see certain things going on, like this is the outer ones, but like progress Jupiter sextiles Mars, that's success. October 4th, that's achievements, right? So progress Jupiter. Wait, did I just mess something up? Maybe that was just hang on a second, this thing jumped. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I saw progress, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so progress is PR. Now, if you're working with Prometheus, there's different ways you can do things. If you want to look, for example, let's say we have Val's chart up, right, again, and you want to do transits and progressions, you can choose. You can choose, like, you don't have to load these settings right here. These are just settings that we normally have right here, right? That's what we normally do. But you can go over here. You can just use only progressions. You can click transits off, and you can go progress house, and then you can let me see, configure progressions, secondary data year. That's what we're using, right? So you can just do progress, right? progress to radix, progress to natal, or you could do even progress to progress. So, for example, let's say we want to do only progressions. Do it for a whole year. Let's run that. Let's see how long that takes. It's gonna take a little bit, but then you can only look at you can do everything you want to do with progressions, and look at progressions for the entire year, right? And then you could do a whole progress reading for an entire year for someone. It's gonna take a minute to load because we did a whole year, but while this is loading, how do we feel about the everything else, about using the aspects and using the transits and using the sheets? Are we clear on all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone?
I just have to practice.
Yeah,
Practice.
that's the main thing, especially with predictive. It's really a whole different, set. It's a whole different mindset that you're looking at. Right? It's not just like a birth chart where you can kind of look at it and you can. Now you go to a birth chart, it's going to be easy for you to read, right? Because the progress is like so much more, and the transit is so much more. So.
Can you speak about the galactic center a little bit?
Okay. So that, I don't know whoever has dark skies where you live, but if you look where the Milky Way is, in the southern Milky Way, and then the ecliptic. So I don't know if you know yet how to find Scorpio. We didn't get to that part of the class yet, but how to find Scorpio and Sagittarius. But basically, you're looking south, and you can see the Milky Way band. So what that Milky Way band is, it's the plane of our galaxy, right? So it's like the disk plane. Now that galactic center, it's the core of the galaxy. It's that black hole that they call. And the reason why it's so important is that it's vibrating. The electromagnetic frequency, the energy there is, they say it's like 30 billion suns, the mass of 30 billion suns. So that vibration is really strong. So whatever passes in front of that, it's through quantum entanglement, the model of quantum entanglement, it's picking up that energy, that vibration. It peaks. And you don't hear much about that in tropical, because along with hiding the truth of astrology, which is what tropical astrology is, it's just basically solar.
You're cutting out.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No.
Okay, it'll come back. Hang on. Let me know when I'm back. Am I back?
You're back.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
So tropical astrology is based on just solar, movement of the sun. Easy. But when you get into sidereal, you get into more galactic type astrology. And that's why tropical astrology, you don't hear about the galactic center, because that's a powerful point of the sky that is related to the 13th zodiac sign. Because
I'm fascinated with that area.
Yeah,
I actually have my Neptune close to there, and my transiting Neptune is right on the galactic center. Or
Yeah.
sorry, progress.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah, that's a powerful part, because it's the 13th zodiac sign. So part of hiding the 13th zodiac sign is also hiding the power of the galactic center, because there's mythology that we're going to get into later that they say that's the other world. The galactic center is the other world. That's where Quetzalcoatl comes from. That's where Viracocha comes from. That's where Kukulkan comes from. That's where all the gods of all these ancient cultures, they come from this place. And we're going to talk about that in the cosmology part. But that's the importance of the galactic center. It's a powerful portal almost. And I'm going to show to you what else is there. There's more there that we'll go into. And it'll make a lot of sense of why it's hidden, because it's part of hiding our original origin, our origins. of where we've really come from. So does that make sense, Dan?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I watched your thing on Ophiuchus, and maybe
Yeah.
you talk about that a little bit there. Maybe
Yeah,
we just
that's
were talking about it. But I guess, would you just say when you're like doing a reading and something is conjunct that or passes by it, that it's like amplified
yeah.
or like mystified?
Mhm. Yeah, that's part of in the beginning of the class when we taught the 6 parts. That was one of the 6 points was the galactic center. That's the spiritual essence of the person. The core essence that